Last night, he flat out accused me of cheating, calling him my son instead of ours, and demanded a paternity test. He told me that if the results showed I cheated, he's filing for divorce. I am white with blue eyes, and my husband is Pakistani with dark features. When our son was born, he had dark hair and skin, but over the last few months, his hair has turned blonde, his eyes are blue, and his skin has lightened significantly.
I know we talk a lot about trust. There's also another side of that where you do your due diligence. Because the possibility exists, at the end of the day, humans do human things.
I think that every father has a right to ask for a paternity test, and I think that we as mothers shouldn't get upset or question that. Women have this maternity certainty, but unfortunately, men have had to rely on just trusting us.
I am not one to go behind your partner's back, but this is one of those things where you're going to potentially start something that didn't ever have to be started.
Do you think he was right to ask for a paternity test?
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Love Up for Debate. Before we get into it, just want to ask you guys if you could hit that like and subscribe button. We got a great show for you today. Good story, okay? I won't take up too much of your time, but hit that like and subscribe button. Keep helping us grow. We appreciate all the views, all the love, and all the feedback. All right, without further ado, Karushi, hit it.
All right, let's get into it. I am white with blue eyes, and my husband is Pakistani with dark features.
Okay.
Just getting right into it.
Yeah, okay.
Very important.
Mm-hmm.
We've been married for a year and have a 4-month-old son. When our son was born, he had dark hair and skin, but over the last few months, his hair has turned blonde, his eyes are blue, and his skin has lightened significantly. While the baby shares my husband's nose and eye shape, the coloring has caused my husband to become distant and cold. Last night, he flat out accused me of cheating. He started yelling, calling him my son instead of ours, and demanded a paternity test. He told me that if the results showed I cheated, he's filing for divorce. I am devastated. I have never been unfaithful, and I feel like the foundation of our marriage is shattered. To me, the fact that he could even think I betrayed him and that he's willing to reject his son based on his color is unforgiving. I want some perspective. Do you think he was right to ask for a paternity test? Is it right that I feel like our relationship won't be the same, regardless of the results, which I know will come back with him as the father?
Okay. She's asking if he is validated in asking for a paternity test?
Yes.
Okay. I know we talk a lot about trusting your partner, and obviously you want to trust your partner, and you should. Absolutely, you should. There's also another side of that where you do your due diligence at all times, even with another partner. Because there has been stories of people who have taken care of a child for, 18 years, and then it turns out to not be theirs. That has happened. We've seen it, and that doesn't mean everybody's capable of doing something like that.
Right.
But because the possibility exists, I've always, heard kind of a constant, I've always heard it like a constant narrative that you really should get the paternity test in the hospital when the baby is, because you're going to sign the birth certificate. You're going to do all these things, which put you on the hook for your child. And I know we'd love to trust our partners, and most of them are probably trustworthy. If not all, I mean, you would want to. If you're with them, you're having a baby with them, and you're gonna marry them, or if you are married to them, right? You probably fully trust them. But people make mistakes, and people. I don't want to downplay cheating, but at the end of the day, humans do human things, and just you should trust your partner. I don't think this should be a fight. I think it's just a good rule of thumb in the beginning to just go ahead and cross that off the list, so you never have to even get here. I know most of us probably won't do it. It's got a negative connotation attached to it. Like if you're in the hospital with your girl, and then you ask for a paternity test. If I'm not mistaken, though, I think they're fairly secretive about it. I think the nurses will be, and I'm pretty sure you can do it. I'm pretty sure they'll do it for you on the spot before the baby's born, or after the baby's born, I guess, however it works.
Yeah.
So my first suggestion would be, uh, if you're at any point think you're going to question this, you should probably just do it in the beginning. If you are, and I guess we don't plan. I guess we don't plan on like us having to question it, but I don't know. I mean, it's like the child is growing up and not looking like him is the biggest problem here. Yeah.
Yeah, the child is now like the looks are changing.
Yeah.
His color is changing.
Okay.
He's starting to look more white,
Uh-huh.
blue-eyed, blonde-haired.
Yeah.
And he's 4 months old at this point. Right?
Okay. He's 4 months
that
old, so he's
helps.
still little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't have to be a fight at all. I don't even know if you bring this up to your partner without just, if you feel a way, I'm pretty sure you could probably get a paternity test without anyone knowing. No?
So both parties actually have to be involved.
Oh, why is that?
So you both have to be like
Like
present.
a legal thing?
I don't know.
Don't they have like DNA, or is it
Possibly.
like a DNA test? Don't they have the ones you can like mail in?
They might.
I'm pretty sure you can
Yeah.
mail in DNA tests now.
I'm
I
sure.
mean,
Like
never seen like a
I've
movie where they swab the kid real quick. Oh, we were just watching something where the dad like swabbed the kid, but the mom kind of low key knew about it.
Yeah.
But he got a DNA test. Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure you don't
know.
need
I mean,
both
like
partners.
in the age that we're in, I'm just speaking on like if you go to a clinic,
Yeah.
they want you both there to sign.
Okay, no,
for
I'm
it.
and I'm
So,
not talking about
but
that.
like
You should do that. Like if you're gonna inquire about it, let's not even start a fight about it. Just I am not one to go behind your partner's back and do things, but this is one of those things where you're going to potentially start something that didn't ever have to be started, and you could maybe have a small moment of mistrust and put those fears to rest. You could do I'm pretty sure it may be a little untrustworthy, maybe a little bit, it may be a little bit.
just going behind your partner's back, swabbing the kid.
Yeah, I mean. But what's the flip side? The flip side is you either never find out, you start a fight with your partner to find out, or you don't find out and the kid ends up not being yours and you find that out years later.
Yes.
I feel like this is like picking the
like the lesser like
of evil of all three. Like
yeah.
if you're like, because now that the idea has entered your brain, and that's not something he can control, right? If he has those doubts, if he has those fears, he can't get rid of those.
Mhm.
So we either ask him to ignore them, which I would say is not healthy.
No, not at all.
I'm sure there's a more, well, not I'm sure. There is probably a much more, nicer way or a more, amicable way to bring this up to your partner. But I don't see this type of question ever ending up in a nice conversation. I don't see many women, especially if she didn't cheat. I don't see many women like being
Right.
cool with this request.
Because then, like, you're like questioning her character.
Yeah.
My
other question is, if you do want a DNA test, like, and let's say you're right and you need both parties, which I'm pretty sure you don't, but let's say you're right, you can't like legally force them, right?
Like legally force them to do it.
Well, if the dad wants it, let's say the mom says, no, I don't want to do it, but you need both parties. You can't legally force the mom to do it.
No, you can't.
Okay,
you could
so
take them to court and then have it done. It's a whole
secret DNA test. Secret DNA test. I'm sorry, I'm not one to go behind your partner's back and do untrust or dishonest things. I'm just not. But I also think like we're weighing the outcomes of two things here, and I think that the behind the back thing could be something that never gets found out if you do it, and you might just kind of escape this one, right? And if you find out, the child isn't yours, then
ooh, that would be so crazy.
I mean, that would be crazy, but it's like, okay, you found out, like you have got your solution. You either found out it wasn't yours, now you can lay all your fears to rest, and you have a regular, nice relationship with your partner where you never even mention it, or maybe later on in the future, you could be like, hey, I just want to admit something to you. Maybe you have that conversation. But I honestly, I don't know. This is probably not the best advice, but I think it's the least. I think it's the least like. I think it's least likely to have a negative outcome.
Okay. I could see it. I mean, the advice was pretty crazy,
Yeah,
but I see like your point in like not starting something.
yeah. I mean,
If you
because
don't
he's going
have
off on
to.
her, like he's accusing her.
Yeah,
So
he is.
he feels a way about this. Maybe he's crazy for even thinking that the kid isn't his because it now looks different. Babies do change.
They
You know, when our
do.
daughter was born, she was pale. She
She
looked
was.
Asian. Looked at her and was like, "All right, I'm about to go holler at this nurse." But you know, obviously now that she's 6 now, she's darker than me. She's got
Yes.
my hair, like she's curly hair, like you know what I mean. So there's features change for sure. And
Yeah.
I hate that this guy's feeling this way, and hopefully hopefully it's not true. But he's now started something because there's no recovering from this. I feel like.
No, I
But
feel
if you
like
go and do the
now.
test, you've created this friction. You've
You
created a friction
have.
for no reason, especially if you find out it's the child is yours.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, when my daughter was born, it'd be really hard to like it sounds like he's treating like the child like already like it's not his.
Yes.
And it's like I
Yep.
already you should already have that attachment by then,
Yeah.
you know?
I
I
know we
don't know.
shorten these stories, but she mentioned that he's pulling back. Like he is not being a father right now because
Right.
he doesn't believe that the child is his. Um, which is really sad. And like you mentioned, babies change like in their first year. Like Zoe, I mean, like I feel like she just looks completely different now. She
Mhm.
still has like certain features,
Yeah.
but the skin tone and the hair texture and all of those things
Yeah.
change.
Definitely a little Hispanic baby
In
for
the
us.
first year, they like start like like
Yeah.
losing their hair and things like that. So, and the skin color does change. When
Mhm.
I was a baby, I came out. I was pale. I'm still a little pale. Okay, a little. I have like barely any melanin in me.
Right.
But my parents also said that I did have blue eyes,
Mhm.
and like, and the doctor and all them were like making jokes, like, "Are
Mhm.
you sure she's mixed with black
Yeah.
and white?"
Yeah.
And but I looked fully white,
Genes are a weird thing, right?
yeah,
Genes are a weird thing.
it is weird, and it changes, and like I mean, like we look at Zoe all the time, and we're like, "Who does she look
I
like?" Like
know.
we
Sometimes
get
like
so
the
confused.
crazy part about our daughter is obviously like as a mom you don't ever have to do a DNA test, right? Because
Yes,
unless you gave your daughter for
she's yours.
adoption years ago and then you have to they come back to but if you had your baby like it's yours. But like our daughter, if she wasn't born, if somebody dropped her off in front of us and said this is your daughter gene wise, I would make you get the DNA test. Like it
Yeah,
just like she
absolutely.
doesn't look like you to me. And because you have for me like your family has really strong
They
features. You all
do.
kind of look like, and you're all different skin colors and different hair colors and different eyes. But when you guys are standing beside each other, you have very, very strong, similar features. And our daughter doesn't have those,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And maybe she grows into those, and maybe she does. But my question is, because you probably, and you may not just agree with my overall assessment of this. I mean, what do you think I think he's wrong in the way he approaches. This is like a weird
Mhm.
thing. Your child doesn't look like you. Okay, he got mad or something. But I feel like again, there's a solution for this. I mean, what do you think he should do in this situation? Are you against like him just not doing a DNA test? Um,
I agree with you. I think that every father has a right
hmm
to ask for a paternity test, and I think that
Okay.
we as mothers shouldn't get upset or question that.
Mm.
I this is
Okay.
this is how
I
I
don't think a
feel.
lot of girls would agree with you.
I
Well,
I
maybe
know
maybe they
it.
would. Mature
I
women
know
might.
it.
I feel
It
like
it
mature
is a
women will,
maturity
but yeah,
thing. It
yeah.
absolutely is. But here you have to think of it this way.
hmm
Women, we have like this how do I explain it? Like a maternity like certainty.
hmm
When we have babies, like we know for a fact that's our baby. Like
Sure.
they're in our bellies,
Yeah.
Um but unfortunately, men have had to rely on like just trusting us,
Mm-hmm.
um, and as well as like the baby's appearance and how they look,
Yeah.
right? So I do think that it is fair and it is okay for them to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, like you may feel like they're questioning like your character, um, but also like they're just going off of our word. And unfortunately, not everybody is honest.
Yeah.
And there have been many cases of women cheating and getting pregnant and telling their then boyfriend or husband, fiance, that the baby is theirs, or even a
Mm-hmm.
baby daddy, right? Who they
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
wanted the
Yeah.
baby to be by.
Yeah. No, for
Like I
sure.
have
For
heard
sure.
real life stories, okay? I'm not making this shit up. I'm sure that you all probably know someone as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this happens, okay?
Yeah.
And men I feel like need to protect themselves and they do need to, for sure know. Unless like they don't care, right? Like if they like I've I've heard of like, people like a partner cheating and then the guy just taking the baby in as if it's his and like he doesn't care. He doesn't care to know either
Sure.
way.
Sure.
But that is like, I just
Fringe
don't think that
cases. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But men just don't have the luxury of like knowing for a fact
Mm-hmm.
unless they do like IVF, right? Like that is
Yeah.
that's an obvious
Yeah.
like case. But yeah, I just think that you guys have every right to ask for that and like we should be mature and accepting of it.
All right. Well, while that's true, and why we should be able to, he didn't. So, what's the solution for how? Obviously, I mean, I'm not sure if you. Obviously, we probably disagree that his approach is like pretty,
Yeah, to get angry
pretty,
and
yeah, it's
and
pretty trash,
result
right?
you my you know I was I was pondering on this earlier
Uh huh.
and I was thinking, why do we result to the worst case, which in this case is infidelity?
Yeah.
Instead of like thinking logically, like, okay, biology and genetics,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But immediately, for some reason, when the baby starts to like not look like the partner in their
Uh
brains,
huh.
something is triggered. It's like this subconscious alarm goes off and your brain and it's okay. Like I think that
Yeah.
it actually like I deep dived into this
Okay.
and it really is a thing that our like the male's brain can an alarm can go off and it's just because like they don't have that like certainty like
Mm-hmm.
the mothers do,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But the issue here is you have to use logical reasoning
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately he didn't, which is why like he could have resulted into like, oh, she just cheated on me.
Yeah.
When like no, like it maybe it's biology and genetics. The
Yeah.
fact that like my wife has blonde hair and blue eyes
Yeah.
and
Because what are you
he's
gonna
just starting
do?
to look like her.
I mean, yeah, like what are you gonna do if what are you gonna do if you do the DNA test and
Yeah.
he's yours? You have literally started this for
You've
no
started a
reason.
war.
Yeah,
And she
for no
doesn't seem
reason.
like, she seems like a really sweet girl and she is it's also nice that she's even
Yeah.
wondering like wanting to make sure like is he valid
Sure.
in like
Sure.
in this, so it sounds like she's thinking of him as well,
Yeah.
but I do know she's going through something traumatic like
Mm-hmm.
her she's been questioned, she's so against infidelity,
Yeah.
like I know like some of us probably have been accused of cheating when we
Mm-hmm.
haven't,
Yeah.
and that's like a awful feeling,
It is for
right?
sure.
It's
For
like a
sure.
wow, like I would never do that to you, and like you really don't trust me. Like
Yeah.
your true feelings are coming out,
Yeah.
So I know that she's going through it, and I think after this, she's gonna have, it's gonna. I think it. You can do it, but it's gonna be really hard to get
Yeah,
back on
like moving
track.
forward makes this really hard. That's why I was like,
It
even as a pro.
does.
Okay, so when I said like going behind her back and doing the test, it's only simply because he didn't do it at the hospital clearly when the baby was born, and now it's 4 months down the road,
Hmm.
and he's freaking out clearly, and you know, most men probably are worried to bring this up to their partner without
Yeah.
like offending them, right? This is an offensive ask.
It
It
is.
shouldn't be,
It
but it
is.
is because you are literally questioning somebody's integrity,
Yes.
right? And
Absolutely.
you're not, and that's an uncomfortable thing to do in an uncomfortable conversation. So I don't know. Like I said, it just comes down for me weighing out the weighing out your the lesser of all the evils, which is, you know, tell talk to her about it and potentially upset her, and then still going through with it, and now your relationship has this turmoil in it that really didn't have to be there, especially if the child ends up being yours. You could
Yeah.
knock all this out without alarming anybody, find out the truth, and just carry on like nothing happened. This isn't like a betrayal, because to me it's not like, I'm not saying go and do something that's going to hurt your partner in the long run, or that it's disrespectful. Like, this isn't something that's like a betrayal. This is for me.
Mm.
It doesn't hurt anybody, doesn't hurt the kid, doesn't hurt the mom. This is me just getting information behind their back. I hate to say it that way, but it's like, I got to know. And sometimes, while I think that we shouldn't keep things from our partners, there are things that maybe don't need to be brought to light, because they would only hinder the relationship, and there's no benefit to it. There's no
Yeah.
benefit to bringing it to light, and there's no benefit to having the conversation about it. Right? I'm gonna use a stupid analogy, but it's like asking. It's like if you ask somebody, their number of partners that they've had,
Mm-hmm.
or asking somebody, hey, did you ever do X, Y, and Z in your past? Like, these are conversations that it's like, sure, you could say like not telling your partner is dishonest, but it's also like, these things don't really they don't what they don't hold no weight in the relationship for me to know
Yeah.
or not know. And again, this is a DNA test. This is something that like really affects me and my future
Mm.
specifically, and so I feel like kind of entitled to know. And if you feel like your girl can handle the conversation, maybe you do have it with her. But I don't know. I just don't see I don't see a reason to create this. I just don't see a reason to create a fight for no reason.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just don't. I
I
don't
I
know.
could see it.
If you
I
need her
like
to be a part of it, sure, I guess you don't have a choice. But I'm almost positive they do like mail in things now, and
if they do mail-ins,
you do
yes, but
not
I know
need,
for sure
you could
like
swab your
the
child. No, I'm
clinic.
pretty sure you could swab your child and send it into like a lab.
I'm sure that there are some labs out there or some places who have probably figured it out
Yeah.
and probably do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but he didn't take that route.
No, he didn't take the
He
route. So
didn't take that route.
we gotta do,
So
so well, this
I
is, this
love your
is,
idea of like that being a requirement when you have a baby.
yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Um, but I also think that like we women just need to be mature about it and
Hmm.
understand like they don't know. They're just going off of our word.
Yeah.
And if you are approached, like, put it to okay, it just depends on their approach to it,
Hmm.
right? So, like, with the way that he's acting, the yelling
And the
and
accusations.
yeah, and saying your son instead of ours, and then
That's crazy.
you're like not coming home to spend time with him and stuff. Like
Yeah,
that
because
was
like, again,
that was
what?
in the longer
Yeah,
version.
if it's your child, like, you can't call it your son. That means, for like, that's crazy. That's
Yeah, to
insane.
stop bonding with the child and
Yeah,
things like
yeah,
that.
for
That is
sure.
like you have some deep rooted issues if you are resulting
Yeah.
to that. Like
Especially
you're
if
just
she
gonna
doesn't
like
give you
stop
any.
caring for the
Yeah. And
baby.
if she
That's
hasn't given you any
insane.
inclination that she's done anything in the
Yeah.
past, or you've never had any problems with infidelity in the relationship, yeah, this is a wild thing to kind of come out. And again, I get it, the looks and all that good stuff, but like, I don't know, science exists.
It does.
Science exists. So I'm just saying, that there's a way to go about this and not ring any alarms. I don't know. I just feel this way about this. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's good advice. Good advice ain't always gonna be this is the right thing to do. I could tell you I could tell you not to lie to your mom and tell her that tell her when you lost your virginity, right? But the good advice would be like, you probably shouldn't tell your mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's true. Some
like,
things are better left unsaid.
Yeah, it's just like, or some things are better left like lied about and just leaving it at that. I'm sorry, lies do hold some place. I normally wouldn't condone lies, and I lost my train of thought because I really wanted. Oh, so I do want to say this. I want to say this. I know I'm big on approach, right? So like his approach is absolutely horrendous. It's definitely is definitely like incompatible with like a healthy relationship for sure.
Yeah.
Right. But this just happens to be his reaction. Who knows what's going on in his mind? For him, like my thing to him is like, you're wrong. You're wrong for your action. Right. But my advice, but I have to also give her advice as well. Mm-hmm. And my advice to her is, it like, and for all women, I would say like you kind of, we're saying, if he requests it, instead of maybe getting defensive, if you want to kind of diffuse the situation, and I'm saying you have to, I'm just saying, if he's freaking out about it and you love him, and I know it's not right how he's behaving, still, what I would suggest is that try to understand and give him what he wants. If you know it's his, prove him wrong. You win in this case. You win because it's like now you get to. I mean, now he's taking the L because it's like now you have the upper hand here in terms of you just did all this on me and it was yours the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like you owe me now.
Yeah,
you owe me, or it's
he
over.
has to do the work to rebuild.
Yeah, like you owe me now. Either that or or it's not his, and y'all both find out.
Yeah.
but again, it's like. Yeah, if you for sure know that it's his and you've never done anything, give him what he wants. Because now he gets what he wants. He gets to see that the child is his. There's no point in, making him wonder. Yeah, and then like I said, if you get to pull the "I told you so" bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
That works in your favor, unfortunately, but you can't control how he behaves. So that's the unfortunate has already started.
Yes. That is so important because, I mean, we've probably said this in a past episode, like you can't control how your partner reacts to something, but you can control how you react. Mm-hmm. And we as women, we should be understanding. Yeah. Like this is, it sucks being questioned in that way, but also like they don't know. They're just going off of our word. So, I was hoping that you would give the advice of her doing the paternity test with him.
Okay, yeah.
Because I feel like that is, that's the best advice here.
Oh, you think that? See, but that was my advice to him, though.
No, I get it. No,
my advice, because I'm a man, so I'm going to speak to the man. I was really giving him advice. But yes, my advice to her is like give it to him because you get
Absolutely.
to prove your innocence. You get to use the "I told you so," and you shouldn't be vindictive with it. But it's like, if you're gonna have to put up with dude accusing you and doing all this, get something out of it for sure.
It would just keep going on. Like if you refuse to get it done, and then like it might end in divorce, right? Like because sounds like that's where he's heading if the baby's not his, and I could imagine. Yeah. Him probably wanting to get a divorce if she's like refusing as well. Right. And then you're going to have to go, he would then, of course, request it through the court and then you would be forced to do it.
Yeah.
But I think like you mentioned, just absolutely getting that taken care of, proving him wrong, and not necessarily to prove him wrong, but also to kind of like, just
it
ease things for you as well.
Yeah.
It will calm him down. Sucks that you have to think of doing the things to like make your partner more calm. Like he should be able to do that on his own, but unfortunately, like not everybody can.
Right. And this is the advice to you, so we got to give you the advice.
And then I think from there, honestly, like figuring out what is the deep, like rooted problem here. Mm-hmm. Why did he resort to infidelity and not think more like logically of like, oh, like, I mean, the baby's starting to look like her, which is the crazy part. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like he started to look like.
There could be a couple things here. Number one, he could have honestly just like got the random thought in his head and then kind of spiraled.
And yes.
Is what it sounds like happened.
And that is like, that's kind of like where it's like pointing to as well, is like he didn't lean on the logical side of things we are supposed to.
I'll go a little bit deeper. There could be a little bit of disappointment. He's Indian?
Pakistani.
He's Pakistani?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the Pakistani culture, but there could be something underlying there where he wanted his son to look like him.
Yeah. Ooh, that is good. That is really good, because I feel like they are really in tune with their culture.
And that might be just a thing in general. I mean, most dads probably want it's a son, right? And most dads probably want their sons to look like them anyways. But even with like, especially when you get outside of like American culture, you know, there are definitely cultures in other countries where, you know, they are very, very particular, I guess, about, staying within the culture, staying within the, staying within their race, staying within their ethnicity.
Yeah.
So this could be, and obviously should have considered that before you married a white girl, but you did, and maybe you don't see race at all, but there could be some underlying subconscious disappointment with your son not looking like you and getting her traits, and now you're a Pakistani with a pale-skinned, white or blonde hair, blue eye, you know what I mean? So it's like there could be something there that either he's not admitting or just doesn't realize it.
He doesn't realize it.
So now it's like, DNA test because I feel insecure about my child.
Absolutely. Ooh, that's really good. That could
you
definitely be a thing that maybe like he doesn't realize himself, and he's just like immediately resulting to that infidelity.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really deep.
Yeah. So I mean, welcome to science.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to interracial dating. Okay, that's kind of what comes with it.
Yes.
I don't.
Babies change.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
A lot in that first year, and then in the first couple of years too. Like your kid's just gonna look like a whole different.
I gotta stop. Where I mess up at is where like you read the story, and like I'm a guy, so I think for the guys, even when it's against the guys, but like I immediately go to like the person who I feel is maybe needs the most advice. I immediately give them advice, but sometimes they're not the person who wrote the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I'll be giving the dude advice, and like he may not even ever hear this, like, cause it's the girl who wrote it in.
Yeah.
So I gotta do better about.
But also at the same time, we're talking to an audience of people who like might be going through something like that. Yeah. And I think that even just giving advice to the other person, or at least speaking on it's also watching. Helping the people who are watching as well.
Sense.
So
it make me feel better.
That's why I don't stop you. And I do like us going through like both sides.
Sure.
Like I want to see it from both point of views and giving advice to both, because it could absolutely help, even if we help one person out there.
Yeah. No, for sure. Like approaches everything. I understand I understand insecurity. I understand getting an idea in your head and then spiraling, for sure. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. We've all done it. We've all just, even if there was no signs of it, we've definitely just like kind of imagined something and then spiraled a little bit, for sure, right?
Yeah.
So, and it could come from your girl now or your guy now, or it could come from past experiences that you've been through where you realize somebody's capable of something, right? So, and I come from a world where I do believe, I believe the best in people, but I also, don't put things past people, because putting people on a high pedestal allows for a really long fall, right? It allows for disappointment. It allows for expectations not being met, right? So you got to, again, at the end of the day, like humans are human. And while it's not a small mistake that could be made, it is a mistake that could be made, and infidelity does happen. And so, it's okay every so often to be insecure and think that people can be capable of anything, just depending on the situation. You just never know, right? So it's I guess that's all I got. Like, give them the test. I think you win if you do, because like at the end of the day, we're gonna not do it, and then
I know, and then it's just gonna continue to cause problems.
You don't fight either way, so you might as well take the, like I said, unless there might be some other possibilities. However, I'm going to trust like if you wrote the story in. I'm going to trust.
Yes.
you. I'm going to trust you.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then after the test, like I think that it's fair for you to go to him and be like, okay, now that you know that our son is yours, as I kept telling you,
Mm-hmm.
can we discuss like the real reason why you were feeling that way? Like let's kind of like talk and try to help him like navigate his emotions. And if he can't do that, if he can't have a mature like conversation with you about essentially his fears is what I think is happening here. His
Yeah.
fears and insecurities. Then I think that it's safe to say like get a therapist involved, and that's if you're looking to, of course, like stay in the marriage,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I do think that sometimes like after you, something like this has happened, and you're having a hard time getting through it with your partner, get into therapy, and maybe that therapist can help him break down
Okay.
why he was feeling that way.
Yeah. And I don't disagree with your prescription. However, I would say that prior to you, and this is going to be toxic, but prior to you approaching him and saying, "Hey, let's dive deep and see what's wrong with you," I think he owes you first. Like I think you should get a little, you like.
What do you think she should get out of
I don't
it?
know, whatever she wants, but I do think that he owes her for sure, and I don't think you should let him off the hook at all whatsoever. Like he owes you something. I'm not saying he needs to like take you on an expensive trip. Like apology is not gonna. That's
No,
this is
for
a,
sure
a
not.
big thing, right? This
Yeah.
is like accusing somebody of cheating and your child not being yours. Like that's pretty deep.
Yes.
That's pretty
And he's gonna have to like build a bond with the
yeah,
child.
that's an
Like
extreme
it's
accusation that when that accusation gets proven wrong, oh, there's got to be some get back. Not, and I don't mean vengeance. I just mean like, oh yeah, you got to work a little bit now.
mm,
Cuz it's not on her to make him to again, she wants to be the mature one and help the relationship cuz she wants to keep the relationship going and keep it flourishing. Fine, and she could be that one. And I'm not steering you away from it because that is the healthy thing to do, for sure. But it also has to come from both sides. You can't be the only one that's like he goes crazy on you. Like don't set this precedent where he behaves in this manner and then you're the one trying to mend it. You're not in the wrong here. The only way you're in the wrong here is if you cheated. If you never cheated and you're not responsible for making sure that he becomes a better person. Now, if you love him and want to help him, absolutely, I would say to do it because it'll help you to grow for sure. I would advise to do it. However, I don't want you to feel like I don't want her to feel like it's her responsibility to make sure he gets on track, make sure he's apologetic, make sure that he works to become a better person and control his emotions. Like this needs to
no,
come
of
from him. He
course.
needs to learn from this on his own, or face some consequences of this type of behavior.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
I
shouldn't
agree with
even be
you on
her
that one.
pushing for therapy. Like this dude,
Yes.
he should be pushing for
Yeah.
therapy at this point.
And and that advice is completely dependent on his reaction after the
Sure,
paternity
sure.
test,
No, and I'm not saying
right?
you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I do like the idea of her wanting to keep the relationship strong and healthy and saying, "Hey, listen, I love you. I'm here for you. Let's figure
Mhm.
out like what caused you to go down." I think that's great. I think that's an amazing thing to do as a partner. I just don't want you to set that habit. I don't want that to
Yeah.
be habitual to where he can behave and never work on himself and never become self-aware and it's you always like cleaning up and picking up the pieces after you just took a beating. I
Yeah,
think
that's a great point.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
I
saying.
definitely see that.
Because I'm here to keep relationships together. So don't get me wrong, but also there has to be some growth
Yes.
and some and the yearning for growth. There has to be the want for growth on
Yeah.
his side. You can't be the
Yep,
only
it
one.
has to
Do
be on
not
both
yeah,
sides.
don't stress don't stress yourself and overwork yourself trying to force him to become a better person
Mhm.
to your detriment. No. He needs to want this as much as you do and then proceed with, hey, and like you said, it depends on his reaction to all this. But it's like, with your foot when you gets caught with your foot in your mouth and pie in your face, are you going to apologize to me or what? Like what is this? What is the after effect of this?
Yeah,
Like I wouldn't even
absolutely.
say anything. Like what do you got to say for yourself?
Yeah,
Because if
for
you try to
sure.
condone your behavior or try to somehow, somehow try to back up like how you reacted, we have a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely have to take responsibility
Yeah.
for the way that you know, that you reacted.
So
And then you also have to realize that that reaction was not a good one,
yeah.
and do the work to
Yeah.
fix yourself. Absolutely. No, that's great advice.
But
That's a great addition.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, hopefully, like I said, if give my advice for her, give it to him. Give him the paternity test, and yeah,
Yeah, and go from there.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Good luck to the child. That's the most important thing in this.
Yes, he's the one who's really being affected
Yeah,
right now, and
yeah.
he doesn't even know it.
Doesn't even
Little
know it.
4-month-old.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I hope that you're able to, to work through it.
yeah,
It's all
sure.
dependent on him, of course. But
Yeah.
but yeah, if he's a good man and he realizes he's done some wrong,
Mm-hmm.
then I think that this is, fixable. You can move forward from it.
Yeah, I think it's fixable. I think if your guy wants a paternity test, it's unfortunate, but what do you say? No, I gotta give it to him, and allow him to. If his approach is okay, it's still an uncomfortable conversation, and does feel like a diss, and it does feel like it does feel
It's like a dagger
like a
to the
slight,
heart.
yeah,
Like,
like
oh,
yeah,
like why would you
yeah,
question? We've had a great relationship up until now, and you're like,
yeah. I don't know.
but yeah, it happens. And we women also have to be understanding.
Yeah,
We do.
yeah.
Oh, maturity is a hard thing.
Yeah, right. Adulting out here. For
Yes.
sure. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I have.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Love Up for Debate. Again, I ask that you like and subscribe. And please tell us your opinions on this. How would you react? I know that some people, get a little more unhinged. We try to handle things with a little bit more grace and maturity and compassion and empathy and understanding, right? So that, we're not in a negative space. Because you realize just, if someone approaches you, your partner approaches you in a negative manner, and your response is also negative, I mean, that just hurts you more than anything at the end of the day, because now you're dealing with the negativity, but now you're responding in a negative way. This isn't even about your partner anymore. Now your mental health is suffering from it, right? So it behooves you to also to figure out how to respond to hurtful, painful, toxic situations with some tact, with some class, and with some maturity, with some self-awareness, so that you can grow as a person, regardless of how people treat you or what somebody does to you. This is about you internally, right? So that's what we here try to have these conversations where, the disagreements where like most people would be like, yeah, you need to leave him, kick him to the curb. And it's like, let's talk about this a little bit further, and let's make sure that you come out of this a better person and in a good headspace, as opposed to just being in pain,
Yes, that's what we're here for.
I didn't mean to give a monologue at the end, but
I
thank you
love
guys
it.
for tuning in. Breeze Oliver.
Yes, Karushi Drake.
Y'all
We'll
have
see you next time.
y'all have a wonderful day.